Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Hi, job hunters. Hi, students. Guess what I want to do? I'm preparing for a new tutor because the Lord is my teacher, the Holy Spirit is my helper. So whenever I feel like okay, this is the right time now for a tutor, so I do it. I'm so excited about the program Access. I can't wait to show you what I've been learning now for a little while. Welcome to my ECDL e-learning. The following: after the certificate, I want to keep it up with the program Microsoft Access 2016. It's very important for me to keep it up because I'm still looking for a job. So if I succeed with the program Access and PowerPoint, it's going to be another level, a higher level, which means more chance to find an employment. Also outside of the country. The world is big. Wow. First of all, good news. Good news, my laptop is still alive, still functioning very good right now. I can go and pick up my cable. I'm going to do it next week. But right now I'm still charging my laptop with my cell phone charger, and it's working, it's functioning, so I'll be able to show you what I'm doing. I've been learning for 10 days now, and I think that Access seemed to be easier than Excel, and I can't wait to start sharing with you what I'm learning. So today we are going to open our first database together, our first table, our first query. I'm so glad to learn something new. It is a huge help for my podcasting on YouTube. I can classify all my work. I can't wait to show you what I have started. Okay, let me just remind you why I call it Trilingual e-learning. It's really Trilingual because I think in French, and the questions are in German, the exercises, and I'm going to translate it to you so that you might understand. Office at home or school at home. Of course I wish I could go in a school and meet and interact with other students, but I'm going to do the best I can with the tools that I have. So you know what, even my job hunting situation report I started with Excel, I could download it into an Access document. Well, that is so cool. All right, let's start. First of all, we go to the internet and we go to ECDL. This is a website. I think a lot of ECDL students know this website. I mean the e-learning ones. Here, these are the exercises. Tabellen erstellen, which means to create table. Abfragen erstellen, to create a query. And filter anwenden, to use the filter. These are the three first exercises we are going to perform. For the first exercise, we will have to open our first database together. All right, first of all, let me introduce you my first private database. This is the one I did on my own. You see here it's written private database. And here, as you can see, I already opened my first table. So the first one is My Life Goes On with Jesus. Here are the dates and here are the link. You can even insert the link. And here, this is my job hunting situation report from Excel. I could transfer it here. As you see here, you can put the right title, Job Hunting Situation Report 2018 imported. Import from Excel. And as you can see here, I already started to write down, to record all my work. Here I could first here I have as you can see here I have the title of the songs. I used to have a dance class called JC, like Jesus Christ dance class, and during 1 year long, and we had different events which I did organize, and I can record all of them here. And my a cappella lullabies, even my ECDL trilingual tutos, I can record all of them here. And I thank God that thanks to database program, I can record all my work and know where to find whatever I'm looking for without having to to go page by page. I have everything in here on Access, and I can just go on a link. Look at that. This is so cool. Here I have the link. That is so, here I have the link. I just go and and you jump right in my videos, because I did it already by myself. Now I'm going to show you how we do. So we open Tabellen erstellen. This is the first exercise. Frage Nummer 1, question number 1. Öffne Access und erstelle eine leere Datenbank mit dem Namen DB Privat. Translation: open the program Access and create an empty database with the name DB Private. Let's go and do it. So go by File, then by New, then you click here once, and then you write down DB, and this is the name of your first database, DB Private. All right, let's move on. In order to create a table, you go to tab Create, symbol Table, and then you have to name the table. In order to name the table, you go to the design view. You can see it down here, or you can go right here under the file, and you click here, you know, under the file, you click down here, and you can also change the table, the view like that. But me, I prefer, well, either or. So we go here, and then you can insert the name of the table. So we're going to call it Adresse. Adressen. So we call it Adressen, and then we click OK. Yes, we have created our first table. So this is how our first table is looking like, with the name address. So here you can see the name of your database on the top here, and here you can see the name of your table. So, okay, second part of the first question. Gib die Feldnamen und Felddatentypen laut Vorlage ein. Translation: field name and data type shall be just looking like on the template. So let's read together. So we start here. We replace that with Adressennummer, Autowert. And of course you have to make sure you choose here text or short text. It's the same thing. They don't want a number, but they want a short text. Yes, and here they want date, geboren. So we make sure we choose the date and time. Oh, I can't see right, or what? Ah, here. Date and time, and then Geschlecht. Okay, we have to put, yes, Geschlecht means the gender. Geschlecht means the gender, and here the ECDL you choose here. Okay, we have it right until now. Basically, this is how you want to organize your table, you know. Wechsle in die Datenblattansicht, gib folgende Daten ein. Translation of the second part of the first question: we just have to change the view. Now we are on the design view. We have to go on the datasheet view and give this data in the table. They said that the address number is going to be given automatically. Let's go and do that together. This is how the design view is looking like. We just go down here, you change right here, and you must save. Okay, we save. This is very important because Jesus saves, so we have to save all the time. Okay, now we go to now we are on the datasheet view. So whatever you have written there is here. This is the Adressennummer and the name, the first name, the zip code, you know, the street where you live, when you are, you know, when you were born, and your gender, etc., etc. Okay, now it's looking good. So now we are going to enter the data. Okay, these are the data they want us to give. So let's go and do that. All right, the first one is copper. Let's put it here. And here, what's his first name? Sebastian. and he's living in 5020, and they said in Strasbourg, right? No, in Salzburg, sorry. Salzburg. And then, and he has the ECDL. Okay, second one. We are still on the question number 1. Okay, the second part of the question number 1 we have performed, and now the third part of question number 1. Und schreibt als letzten Datensatz deine eigene Adresse dazu. Translation, as last data, write your own address inside. Let's go and do that. Alt tab. Here they want us to write our own data inside. So here inside we put Basel, and here we put the street, Herengrabenweg, number 15, so you can come visit me. Lol. My birth date, and I am a woman, a Christian lady, and I have my certificate ECDL. All right, so my last name, sometimes I put an E with an accent and sometimes without accent. Why? Because in Africa we say, in Cameroon we say Nku, but when you come here, you know that they can't say Nku. So we say NK, right? So here I have my name. Frage Nummer 2, question number 2. Erstelle eine neue Tabelle mit dem Namen Meine Bücher. Translation, create a new table called Meine Bücher. So we're going to have a second table. Let's go and do that. This is our first table, and very important is always to save. So you click on it, you open the context menu, and you save. So once you have saved, you can close. You go back and you close. Okay, so this is here. It's still existing, you see, but you just close it. You close it here, and you create a new one, a new table called Meine Bücher. This is the second table, and in order to insert the name, you have to save it. So this is what we are doing, and we call it Meine Bücher. Okay, this is the second table, and you just hit OK. So, and then you can see on the navigation pane the name of your tables. We have 2 tables right now, Adressen und Meine Bücher. For instance, on my own, I called it my private Profi database, 2018, Afro-Gospel 2018. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tables already on my own one, and we have together created 2 now. Okay, let's go back to the exercise. This is what they want us to do. First, ändere die Feldeigenschaften. Klicke auf den Feldnamen und ändere in den Feldeigenschaften unten. Okay, translation of what they want us to do. We have to change the field properties in the box located down the page. Feldautor, Feldgröße 50, indiziert ja, Duplikate möglich. Feldtitel, Feldgröße 50, indiziert ja, Duplikate möglich. Feldnote, Feldgröße byte. Translation, we have to change the field author and change the field size, and we have to insert the index with the duplicate, and then we have to change the field called title to insert field size 50 with an index. The field note, we change only the field size. The field size with byte according to the data they are giving us here on this template right down here. So we have to fill it like this: author, title, calf datum, etc., and make the changes. Let's go and do that together. This is what we do. This is the box down here where we can operate the changes. So because we are on the first field, you know, the field name, here we have to change the size. Right here we put 50. And then they want an index. So in order to change the index, you just go here by indexed and you click yes. Duplicate is okay. And then by the next is going to be the title. The field size is also 50. They also want an index here, an index in here, so we put the duplicate. Okay, I still don't get what it means exactly, but I know how to do it. Sorry, let me go back. Yes, but I'm not finished. Let's go back to the design view. So and then the last one, Inhaltsangabe, which means note. And in this one they want the same size, they want 50, and they want an index, the index. Okay, duplicate. Okay, now we have it. So you make sure you have written exactly as I said, so we can change the view and go right here. Oh yes, we have to save. It's good that they remind us about that. So you have the right field, name, title, Kaufdatum, Kaufpreis, Inhaltsangabe, etc. Okay, so as you can see, all you have to do is to enter to enter the data. You make sure that you are on the right view. Under the data sheet view, you can insert the information, but you have to make sure you put the right properties here. You see, you make sure that, you know, for the price you're going to have currency, and you know, for the date you're going to have the date, you know, things like that, or if you need a number. Now, second exercise, Abfragen erstellen, create query. And here we have a document to open. So let's do that together. First, we open this one. And this is the second exercise, Abfragen erstellen, create query. And now let's open the access doc they are providing. And we open it. This is a new one. They have a table inside called Jophielle. This is the doc. Okay, let's start the exercise. Frage Nummer 1, question number 1. Öffne die Datenbank Jophielle. Translation: Open the database called Jophielle. Erstelle für jedes Beispiel eine eigene Abfrage mit allen Datenfeldern. Translation: For each example down here, we have to create a new query. Second part of the first question, gib den Abfragennamen wie in der ersten Spalte. Translation: For each query, you have to give a new name, and the names are supposed to look like in the first field. So this is something you have to know, which is important. Let me show you. Here, what they call field in Access, the column is called field in Access, and the row is called record in Access. This is for the English part. And now in German, the column is called Feld and the row is called Datensatz. Okay, let's move on. We have to write down on the field number 4, which is this one, the number of the records. Okay, this is the first query we have to create. It is going to be called A1, and it's going to be alle Personen, die in Goling wohnen. All the people who are living in Goling. The criteria is going to be Goling. Okay, let's go and create our first query. So, okay, you have to create a query for the table called Jophielle. So you go to tab create, and then to the query wizard, which is the assistant, and then you click OK. And here they want actually only the people living in location Goling, but we need all information. So we click here to pass the data from left to the right side, and you have to make sure you are using the right table. Here is the table name. So once you have passed the data from left to right, you click to next, and then you have to name the query A1. They said A1, and we finish. And once we are here, we are right now on the datasheet view of your query. You know that you have created a query when you see this sign this sign right here. So this is your query and this is your table. So this is how your query is looking like right now. But when we go on the design view, we can insert the criteria, which is that we want only people living located in Goling. So once you have here down here Goling, you can change the view that you have only people living in Goling. So this is your query. Once you have filtered, you know, all people living in Goling, actually you don't have to insert any function to calculate the number. Here it's written 179 people from Goling. All right, and now let's choose also Abfrage A8. Alle, die Christoph oder Christoph heißen, wie Christo. Okay, translation, the query called A8 is going to represent or to show all the people with the first name Christoph, PH, or Christoph with the F. So we go back to create and we choose another one. We say yes. And we want everybody. We're going to filter after that. They didn't ask us to count, but we still need, we want a detailed one. And we're going to call this one A8. Okay, let's move on with the first question. Erstelle für jedes Beispiel eine eigene Abfrage mit allen Datenfeldern. Translation, for each example down here, we have to create a new query. So now for the modification of your query, you just go on the design view again, and you go by first name, Vorname, and you indicate the criteria, Christoph or Christoph. Let's write it down. And you go back to the datasheet view. And here you can see that the system has automatically filtered by the first name Christoph. All right. Third one is going to be let's choose something maybe more complicated. Let's put for instance zum Beispiel eine Abfrage genannt A14. Let's try the A14 one. Let's create a query called A14. A14 Einzahlungen in der Klassenkasse zwischen 100 und 200. Translation of our query A14, which we are about to create. Deposit in the cash office of the class between 100 and 200. Criteria between 100 and 200. Let's go and do that. See, we already have two queries, and now we go back to the table because it's a query of this table, and we go to create another one, and we take again the query wizard, and we are going to choose all field. Let's put it like this, and we want a summary because we still need them to be counting them all. Sum, count the record, and you hit OK. And then we say yes in here, and we call it A14. A14. And we finish. This is our new query. And we go to the design view so we can enter the criteria, and they want it between sum of class and casa. Class and casa is the cash desk of the class, the class cash desk. So here we can enter the criteria between 100 and 200, and when you put it down like this, you go back to our datasheet view and you can check by yourself, and it is true, it is indeed between 100 and 200. So our query is done. Okay, so everything is all right. So you can check. Voila, between 100 and 200. It doesn't go above. Okay, and for the rest you can exercise by yourself like I'm gonna do. The next one is called filter anwenden, how to use a filter. And here we have a new document to open. So filter anwenden, this is what we are going to open right now. So now we are learning how to use a filter. Filter anwenden. Frage Nummer 1, question number 1 somehow. Öffne die Datenbankbibliothek. We just did it. Let's go and check. This is the right one. It's written up here. You can see Bibliothek 1. And these are the tables already contained in the doc. Okay, let's go back to the instructions. So, and then we go on with Finde mit Hilfe der Filterfunktion die Anzahl der passenden Datensätze. Schreib in die dritte Spalte die Anzahl der gefundenen Datensätze. Translation: use the filter function to find the requested records and then write the number of these records in the third field. And it's according to this template right here. For instance, the first one we have to filter, the first filter we have to use is for this one, Schüler, students, alle mit der Postleitzahl 5440 und dann Anzahl gefundenen, which means all students with a zip code, 5440, and then you write down the number. Let's go and do that. Okay, so we go to the right table first. We are talking about students, Schüler. This is the right one, so we click on it. For instance, here you can see they have one with 5431. That's not right. So we go down here to the drop down, arrow, and we filter. You deselect all of them and you just put this one. No, this one, 5440. Okay, and then this is what you have. You have 230 people living in this area. Okay, all the questions are of course according to this template right here. Notice that you don't have to create any tables. They are already created. All we have to do is to filter them. So we are going to let's do 3 of them. Okay, we already performed this one, and now we are going to choose, for instance, this is table called Bücher, and we have to, and this is what we have to do. Alle Bücher des Autors Jack London, which means we have to be searching or filtering all books, not searching, filtering all books from the author called Jack London. Let's go and do that. So we choose the right table, and this is the right table, Bücher, which means books. And these are the author. And we have to use a filter. We don't go, by search and find or replace. We go here to filter. And we are looking for, so we choose the equals. And what we do here, we just write his name. And we are going to write down here Jack London. Let's find out. Oh, okay, let me check what's going on. Usually when it does like that, there is something wrong. So we go back in here. Oh, I can see it right now. Look at that. I know what's wrong. So here it's written London Jack. I can see it right here on the list. Here they wrote in Jack London, but on the list, I just saw it by accident right now. It's written London Jack. So let me put in here the right order, London, and then Jack. Normally it should find it. I know it is in the list. Okay, here it is. Now it's working. So that's good. Let's choose this one. Schüler alle, die nicht in Golling wohnen. Okay, this one is the table students and all the students which are not living in Golling. Let's go and do that. This one is easy. Okay, we are here. We go back to this table and the location. So we have to go here. Okay, we go here. Same thing. And actually you could just deselect Golling. Everybody else is not living in Golling, so we hit OK, and this is what we have. We have everywhere except Golling, as you can see. Okay, we're good. Now you know how to create a table, create a query, and you know how to use a filter in English and German. Thank you for watching. If God's willing, the rest is coming next. Bye-bye.